Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome for today's continuous discussion. Today is 27th October 2025, Monday. So we gathered here to continue our discussion on Nectar of Devotion, chapter 21. Okay, the qualities of Sri Krishna. Okay, so today we try to go a bit faster. Okay, because my God, we have to complete this book by end of February. So roughly when I see here, we have 407 and now we have 173. Oh, we have 200 over pages. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so before we start, let's do our invocation prayer. Let's invoke our auspiciousness, seeking blessings from Srila Prabhupada and all the Guru Varga. Without their costless mercy, it is not possible for us to discuss and discuss this very confidential subject matter. You know, I've realized, as I shared with every one of you, right? This is my first book I've ever got in my life. Okay, this is my first book, and I received this book as a gift in the year 1994. Okay, so I received this book in the year 1994. Was given to me by my mentor at that time, the person who trained me up, Shanti Vardhana Prabhu. He was a brahmachari in Ipoh, and he gave me this book, and I remember reading it, but I don't remember what I read. But after 30 over years, and now we are sitting and studying this in detail, I start to realize, the cream of this book, so wonderful. That's why we just insisted that, thanks to Mataji's, I think certain Mataji's insisted want to study Nectar of Devotion. And we are relishing the real nectar. Okay. So before we start, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Darati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vignanadayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojwala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namasute Namaste Gauramani Shri Murtaye Rina Tarine Rupanuga Viruda Pasidanta Tvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambode Padam Pujayati Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayati Gaura Virbhava Bhumestum Nidasa Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannatayati Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangung Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat Namam Shri Krishna Stapatari Shrimati Jayapataka Swami Ramani Namacharya Padai Nitai Kripa Pradai Nikora Kata Tamakai Nagara. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, so we are on possessing equilibrium, magnanimous, we have already discussed. So today we're going to discuss on the 30th, okay, Sri Krishna's, what they call, qualities, the 30th quality of Sri Krishna. Oh, I didn't take out the... All right, okay. Okay, so we have discussed until 29. So today we are looking at the 30th quality, Sri Krishna. What is his qualities? Okay, they call Dharmika. 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 Kurvan karayate dharmam yasa dharmika uchyate. Quoted in, okay, number 2 is Southern Ocean, first wave, text 126. Okay, dharmika means religiosity, religious. Okay, let's look at the definition of a religious person. Religious, okay? And now, Prabhupada mentioning here, a person who personally practice, all right? So, religiosity means a person who personally practices the tenets of religion. Okay, that means they follow the rules of a religion, okay, which is enjoined in Shastra. Enjoined in Shastra. That means according to the authorized source, not some kind of imagination. What we can understand from here, we see so many people, well, hey, I'm a religious person. Yeah, so what? Oh, I'm a very religious person. I'm God-fearing. I'm God forbearing. You know, I'm this and that. But now the religiosity is according to what the Shastra says here. All right, is dharmika means a person who personally practices. Is a personal practice the tenets, the rules and regulations of the religion, which is enjoined in the Shastra. That means according to the authorized source, not according to some kind of imagination. Okay, and at the same time, who are teaches others. The same principle is called religious. All right. So when we are going to be the practitioner and we're going to teach others, first we have to practice it ourselves. All right. It is not merely like giving a lip service. Not simply giving a lip service and this and that. So a person has to practice, then he share. So now, I mean, then now second phrase is very interesting. Simply professing a kind of faith. Okay, simply professing, simply going around and teaching a kind of faith, which is not a sign of religiousness. One must act according to the religious principle, and that is by his personal example, and he should teach others. Such person is to be understood as religious, right? So that's the definition. So we understood the definition today, all right? So now let's look at the quotes. All right, the quotes. Yata means quote. Padis chaturbir bhavata vrishasya guptasya gopendra tata vyavardi svairam charaneva yata trilokyam adharma sparshani hata jagasa. Okay, it's quoted in 2.1.127, the verse. So it says, when Krishna was present in this planet, there was no irreligion. Okay, when Krishna was present in this planet, there was no irreligion. In this connection, Narada Muni once addressed Krishna jokingly. What he said? My dear Lord, of the cowherd boys, your bulls. Okay, so that means why? What do you mean your bulls means? Now he represents bulls means they are representative of religion. Okay, so your bulls, while eating grass from the pasturing ground and moving with their forelegs, have certainly eaten up all grass of irreligion. So you understand the analogy? Okay, so what he says? So he says, oh dear Lord, your bulls. So the bull means what is representing here? Bull means religion. So the bull, while eating the grass of pasturing ground, eating grass, it's as though they are eating all the grass of irreligion. Okay, that means all the things been absorbed. Okay. In other words, by the grace of Krishna, religious principle was so well kept that hardly any irreligious activities could be found. When we try to look around the history 5,000 years ago, okay, we don't talk about Indian history, Mahabharat, but when we look at overall history in the world, okay, overall history in the world, there is only a mental concoction. Okay, the Western civilization are telling Paleolithic, Neolithic, and Mesolithic. So these kind of things. People were like hunting with this, hunting with that, dinosaur, and all this kind of history they could perceive. All right, but at that time, roughly around 5,000 years ago, when Krishna present in this world, I don't remember reading any kind of history or any kind of civilization existed at that moment that were irreligious. Because 5,000 years ago, when Krishna was around, there's no other religion existed. All right? There's no other religion. Example, there's no Christianity, and there's no what they call Islam. There's no Jews, and there's no any other kind of religion existed. Okay? And at that time also, I don't remember reading that time there was a irreligion, there was a fight against the country, all these kind of things, never heard of. Okay, so it is all written in Mahabharat. In Mahabharat, that means Mahabharat is the book that cannot be disputed. It's an ancient history. That means from when you talk about starting of Dwapara Yuga until the end, until the Krishna appeared, I mean the day that Mahabharat started from when Bhishma was born until Bhishma expires. Okay, until he left the body, there's an entire narration of Mahabharat. Okay, so other than that, before that, of course, it's mentioned in Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, but after that, of course, in Srimad Bhagavatam also mentioned about what will happen after Krishna leaves, the Kali Yuga will come in, and until the end of dissolution. But when you look at the Western civilization, they still haven't got what happened 5,000 years ago in England, in Arabian country, or in any other part of the world. All right, it's not mentioned. It's nothing. All right, because at that time we understood the whole world was in a very religious situation. Okay, now yatava vitayamanir bhavata makut karir akrishyamaneshu patishvanartatam mukunda kinna sura subruvam ganas tat tavavataram navamam namashyati. Okay, the verse 1 to 8. For some who are just like, okay, like what's the name? Sudha Sindhu Mataji and Kala Mataji, right? Like you are new here. You'll be wondering, hey, how come in my Nectar of Devotion, there's no verses? From where I got this? All right, this is the book that Prabhupada disciple, what he did. Prabhupada wrote this Nectar of Devotion without verses. He straight away commented. But this devotee, what happened? He went and took all that the verses, because Prabhupada was like translating. So he just straight away translated. He never give verses. So this devotee have put on which are the verses that Prabhupada, what they call, quoted, and he gave so he created this thing like this. So down there, the purport, everything is Prabhupada. And there's no difference. Only thing he added the verses only. All right, that's for your information. It is said that because Krishna was constantly performing various types of sacrifice and was inviting the demigods from the higher planetary system, the demigods were almost always absent from their consorts. Therefore, the wives of demigod, regretting the absence of their husband, began to pray for appearance of Lord Buddha, Krishna's 9th incarnation, who appears in the age of Kali. In other words, instead of being pleased with Lord Krishna had come, they began to pray for Lord Buddha. who is ninth incarnation, because Lord Buddha stopped ritualistic ceremony and sacrifice recommended in the Vedas in order to discourage animal killing. Okay, so see what it says, very interesting, right? See, Vityamaner Bhavata Makut Karir Akramaneshu Patishvanartham. So Krishna has been keep calling, come, okay, I'm going to do sacrifice. Come, the demigods will come. Come and take your share. So looks like the demigods were neglecting their wife. So now the husband being very busy and neglecting the wife, it is not only happening in this world, it's even happening in the heavenly planet. So looks like even the demigoddess, all right, the Devis, they also still hanker for their husband's association. You know, sometimes we see in this world, right? Oh, you go to work, come back, you have no time for me, you know, this and that. You know, sometimes the wives used to grumble. Okay. But it didn't happen here, it even happened there. And they prayed, come on, Krishna, come in the form of Lord Buddha. All right. Because when Buddha came, he rejected all this kind of ritual. So they could hold their husband with them. Okay. So and somehow, instead of being pleased Krishna, they had to come begin to pray to Lord Buddha. Okay. And Lord Buddha stopped the ritualistic ceremony and sacrifice recommended in the Vedas in order to discourage animal killing. So the demigod's wife thought that if Lord Buddha appeared, all kind of sacrifice would be stopped. They thought if he come, everything can be stopped. Okay. All can be stopped. And thus their husband would be not invited in such ceremonies and would not be separated from them. Sometimes it is inquired, why don't the demigods from higher planetary system come to the earth planet nowadays? Right? So sometimes it is inquired. Okay. I don't know that you all have heard this before. But so far, I heard once. Okay, I didn't hear this many times. I heard once, and sometimes they say why they are not coming. Like last time, you know, they used to come and take their arms. You know, they simply come and visit. But why not coming? All right. So why don't the demigods from higher planet come to the Earth planet nowadays? The plain answer is that since Lord Buddha appeared, began to depreciate the performance of sacrifice in order to stop animal killing on this planet. The process of offering sacrifice has been stopped, and the demigod do not care to come here anymore. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, now we have already finished chapter 21. Now we are going into chapter 22. Okay, it's chapter 22. And now what is the title of this chapter? Qualities of Krishna further explained. Okay, qualities of Krishna further explained. Okay, now let's look at the 31st quality of Krishna. Suraha, Shuraha. Okay, now you see, whenever you see the word as with apostrophe, okay, like this, as with apostrophe. Okay, so how we pronounce? We pronounce as shampoo, Shamsha. All right, we pronounce as shampoo. So when you see the S with apostrophe, we pronounce as sha, sha. So what sha? Shampoo. Are you following me on this? Right? Okay, now you see there's another word here. Okay, so how are we going to pronounce this word? Shoe, shoe. Okay, sha. So when you see you, there's a dash on top, you pull the word. So shoe. All right, shoe. Then when you see the word O, you do not need to have any indication. It's naturally you pull the vowel. So shoe. So for you, example, for A, U, I, okay, you need to put a dash. Okay, put a dash. So that means you pull the vowel. A, U, E, okay, I, E, you pull the raga. But for O and E, you do not need to have any indication. When you see the word O and E, you naturally pull the raga, pull the vowel. All right, example, Utsahi, see, Utsahi, I. You see there's a dash on top here. Okay, when you see the word Utsahi, okay, Utsahi, Yudi, Shuro, Shuro. So the O, you don't need to have any indication, but you pull the raga. Shuro. Okay, when you see the apostrophe, Okay, shurostra. Okay, when you see after O, there's an apostrophe. Example, you see the O, okay, and then you have an apostrophe. So what does that mean? That means here you have a silent A silent. Okay, A silent. So shurostra. So you don't say suro astra, but when you break the word, it becomes shuro astra. But when we combine the word, we say shurostra. Okay, I know it's quite going to be quite confusing, but it's very pleasurable. Of course, we're going to have a long journey. After this, we're going to talk about Srimad Bhagavatam. You definitely eventually you're going to get it. All right. So shurostra. Okay, prayo. See the yo. You don't need to have any indication. You simply pull the vowel. Prayo. Okay, you see the e here. You pull the vowel. Ge. So utsahi yudi shurostra prayoge. No need to have any dash. All right. Cha vichakshanaha. Okay, now you see the S here. Okay, what happened to this S? This S is like this. You see the S and there's a dot at the bottom. Okay, when you see the dot at the bottom, so how are you going to pronounce this? You take the tip of your tongue, roll it, and put on your phalanx. Okay, you just put it on your phalanx. So the word S, you press the word. Okay. So whenever there's a dot at the bottom, you take the tip of your tongue and press to your phalanx. Okay. So okay. When you see the word N, na. And H dot means, okay, that's anything. Okay, I don't want to confuse you further. But we just try to understand the S first. Okay. Vichakshanaha. Vichaksha. Okay, but you see simply S, of course, S. Slango. All right, sembilan. All right, that's just normal S. So this S means with the apostrophe means it's going to call as shampoo. If you see this S with nothing, with a dot at the bottom, you just roll your tongue, and this is simply S. That means slango. Okay, so that's the thing. The second word that I want to introduce today is O and E. You don't need to have any indication, but you simply O means you pull the vowel, E means you pull the vowel, and you do not need to have any of this indication to pull the vowel. Okay, all good? Are you following me? If you follow me, put a thumbs up.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, great. Kala Mataji, can you follow me on this?
Yes, Prabhu.
Great. All right. How about you, Sudha Sindhu Mataji?
Okay, fine.
No, because you know why? I had a Chinese devotee who came and she couldn't say the word. You know, she had a tough time pronouncing this word like R, S, you know, she cannot. But eventually, after a few months, now she can pronounce Sanskrit really fantastic. So that's why it really works. All right. Okay, now. Okay, now let me just remove all this thing. All right. Oh, we have Prahlad Prabhu. Welcome, Prahlad Prabhu. Hare Krishna. All the way
Hare
from
Krishna,
Trinidad, Tobago, South America. Haribol. Happy to see you. All right. So now the time there is 9:44 p.m. Still tolerable.
Yes,
All right.
Prabhu. I just finished some japa, so I say let me log in to hear some Harikatha.
Okay, great. All right. Okay, now let's look at the first thing, Suraha. Okay, so Shuraha. Okay, when you see the H at the dot, okay, now another thing also I'd like to introduce you today, which is also quite important. Whenever you see H with a dot at the bottom, okay, what happened? If you see the A after the, you see the A first, there's a silent A at the back. So like, aha. So you don't say aha. So it's a silent A. That means you don't stop the word. You see I, all right, with the H at the bottom, is a silent I here. E. All right, E with the H at the bottom. So it's a silent E at the back. Okay, similarly, O, so the same thing, but there's a dot, so there's a silent O at the back. Okay, so how are you going to pronounce? Like for instance, Utsahi Yudi, Shurostra Prayogecha, Vikshanaha. Okay, there's there's a silent A here, but we don't say the word ha. So we don't swallow the word. So Vichakshana. So Vichakshana. Ha. So it's just like a breathe out the last breath out. Okay, not substantive. Okay. Why I'm telling, sooner or later, when you start to recite, especially in Bhagavad Gita, when you start to sing all that 700 songs, you can simply, when you know how to pronounce the words nicely, you can get a fantastic rhythm. You can simply sing along. All right. Anyway, let's do it. All right. Let's see. Utsahi Yudi Shurostra Prayoge Cha Vichakshanaha. So 2.1.129. Eastern Ocean, Southern Ocean, chapter first wave, text 129. What is that? Heroic. Talking about Krishna's heroic qualities. A person who is very enthusiastic. Okay, what is the definition? So that means a hero means a person who is very enthusiastic in military activities. Enthusiastic means they'll be looking forward to fight. Not simply when the war comes and they go and hide. Nowadays, you see all the soldiers, they're hiding and firing, and they call themselves as hero. All right. Of course, in Kali Yuga, everything is opposite and pathetic. So a person who is very enthusiastic in military activities and expert in releasing different kinds of weapons. Okay, the one who knows use all varieties of weapons are called heroes. Okay, let's look at this verse. Tatra adyo yata prittu samara saro vigahya kurvan dvishat aravinda vane viharacharyam spurashi tarala bahu danda sundas tvam aga vidarana varanindra leelaha. Okay, it's quoted in 2.1.130. Say, now talking about regarding Krishna's heroism in fighting. There is the following statement: my dear killer of the enemy, just as the elephant while taking bath in the lake destroys all lotus stems. When the elephant goes to the lake, when he takes bath, it stems and destroy everything, okay? Within the water of swinging trunk. So simply by moving your arms, which are compared to the trunk of elephant, you have killed so many lotus-like enemies. All right? So dvitiyo yataha shanat akshohini vrinde jarasandasya darune dristakopi atra nadasto harir praharana ibihi. All right? So now it's quoting, okay? So regarding Krishna's experience releasing weapon, when Jarasandha and 13 division of soldiers attacked Krishna's army. So what is the 13 division? Akshoni. Is it Akshoni's 13 division? Not Akshoni. Yeah. So, okay, anyway, let me finish this one first. So Jarasandha and 13 divisions of soldiers attacked Krishna's army. They were unable to hurt even one soldier on the side of Krishna. This was due to Krishna's expert military training. This unique history is this is unique in the history of military art, Dhanur Sastra. Okay. Now, when you look at the 13 division, what does that mean, 13 division? They call as Akshohini. Akshohini. All right. So now you can see during the war, during that the Mahabharata war, okay, on Krishna's side, on Pandava side, they had 7. I think so, 7. Please enlighten me if I'm missing. And on the opposite side was 11. Right. So how the military dissing? First, they had a horse regiment, elephant regiment, foot soldiers, then chariot fighters. Then they have what else? Horse, elephant, chariot, then like that. So I can't recall because in the Gita Gyan class we used to talk about it. All right. So when we start our Gita Gyan on December, so we'll discuss. So it's a combination. All right. So one Akshoni. So one Akshoni means they have this kind of part of the soldiers. All right. Anyway, let's look at the 32nd quality of Krishna, Karunaha. Para dukkha saho yastu Karuna sa nigatyate. Okay, that's compassion. Karuna means compassion. A person, okay, what is the definition of compassion? A person who is unable to bear another distress is called compassion. All right. The one who cannot see other people suffer, that means they cannot bear. That is called compassion. Rata, Ranyam agada gatibir magadindrakara dukkantakara patalai swayam anditanam akshiniya sukamayan grne vyatanit vrindetam adya yadunanda patma bandhu. So it says there, Krishna's compassion for distress person were exhibited when he released all the kings of the imprisoned Magadindra. Okay, he released all the kings imprisoned by Magadindra. While dying, okay. While dying, grandfather Bhishma prayed to Krishna to describe him as the sun which eradicate darkness. The king imprisoned by Magadindra were put into a dark cell. So when Krishna appeared here, the darkness immediately disappeared, just as the sun has risen. In other words, although Magadindra was able to imprison so many kings upon appearance of Krishna, imprison so many kings, but upon the appearance of Krishna, they were all released. Krishna released the kings of his sincere Krishna released the kings out of his sincere compassion for them. All right. Then the second thing is Yatava Skalan Nayana Varibir Virachita Abhisheka Shriye Tvarabara Tarangata Kavalitatma Vishpurtaye Nishanta Shara Shaina Sura Sarit Sutena Smrtehe Sapadyavasha Vartmano Bhagavata Kripai Namaha. So, in this prayer, Krishna's compassion exhibited by when grandfather Bhishma was lying on the bed of arrows. Grandfather Bhishma was lying on the bed of arrows, okay, which has been shot through his body. While lying in this position, Bhishma was very anxious to see Krishna, and thus Krishna appeared there. Upon seeing the pitiable condition of Bhishma, Krishna began speaking with the tears in his eyes. Not only was he shedding tears, but he was also forgotten himself as the supreme of his, forgot himself in his compassion. So out of his compassion, he also forgot himself. Therefore, instead of offering obeisances to Krishna directly, devotee offers obeisance to his compassionate nature. Actually, because Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, it is very difficult to approach him. But the devotees, taking advantage of the compassionate nature which represented by Radharani, always pray to Radharani for Krishna's compassion. It's very, very, very important. All right, now let's discuss this. So now let's look at this. Okay, now, first, Krishna even forgot himself in his compassion. Okay, when it comes to compassion, he forgot himself, that he is the supreme personality of God. Okay, but that's why he says, the devotee always offer obeisances to his compassionate nature. Okay, who is the nature of this compassionate nature? The compassion, all right, the mercy. Okay, first of all, we understood what is compassion means. The one who is unable to bear another people's distress is called compassionate. Okay, so that is why when Krishna saw the people in Kali Yuga is going through so much of distress, he actually wanted to come to save them. But of course, he can't be able to do it by himself. So he have to bring along his compassionate nature, or called as Ladini Shakti. And that Ladini Shakti is none other than Srimati Radharani. And she said, you can't do this by yourself. I have to follow you. Therefore, both have merged, combined, and they came to save the whole thing. So when we look at the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came, we understand the two personalities, Krishna and Srimati Radharani combined. Okay, they combined. But which character was the dominant character of Mahaprabhu? All right. See, Krishna, he came in the male form, but he didn't have the dark blue body. He didn't have that body of Krishna, Shama Sundara, the dark, black, blue, beautiful body. He never had that body, right? He took the form of Srimati Radharani. Secondly, he came here, he didn't show any kind of the character that what Krishna used to show, right? It looks like when he came, he straight away was dominated by Srimati Radharani or the Ladini Shakti. We can see when we study Chaitanya Charitam, we can see, right? Like example, the day I was listening to my mentor, Pran Govinda Prabhu, he was talking about the story about Adobe. So Adobe, he was busy washing the cloth. The cloth, those days, how they wash the cloth, they take the cloth and they used to heat on the stone. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and saw the Dobi. And Dobi is considered abominable, right? According to social status, because they're in charge of clearing the dirt. It is not a kind of caste system, but it is this thing. Like some people say, oh, I don't believe in caste system. And of course, it's not a caste system, it's their job. And their job is so abominable. So they stay to themselves. People don't go and like associate with them. Okay, example. I'm not sure about in your country, all right, like in South America or what, but in Malaysia, the guy who picked garbage, the garbage collector. Okay, because sometimes I see the garbage collectors in America, or I've seen personally in Japan, all right, they were all look very professional. They look very clean. Of course, people are so nicely, they tie the thing and they see. But here in Malaysia, the garbage collectors looks terrible, right? And in Malaysia, of course, they don't have that ethic of putting things in a proper perspective. They like to put all the rubbish at the same time, and usually it become very messy. Even the dump truck goes, the whole street will be stinking. All right. Now the question is, can we just simply go and befriend the dump collectors? The garbage collectors. Usually, even we can have compassion for them. We can have this thing. Sometimes they come, they ask for a water. Sometimes the scorching sun. Can I have some water? That's it. We don't even want to give our cup. We just get a bottle of water and just give it to them. They take it and go, take and go. All right, just throw it away. All right, like that. Because the nature is like that. It's not very, because it's a smell, it's a stinky. We can't tolerate it. It is not, we are underestimating or we are making fun of whatever the career they are involved. It is the nature, right? So similarly, so this Dobi guy was washing. And look at this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and looked at the Dobi, he went to the Dobi. When the Dobi saw the sadhu coming, he doesn't want to look at him because he thought, oh my God, this another fellow coming to ask money. Okay, now, what happened? He went there, he told the Dobi, can you chant Haribol? Cannot. He said, I don't have money. I said, I didn't ask for money. I just want you to chant Haribol. He said, no, I cannot do that. Then after there's a very nice pastime, and he'll be telling, okay, look here. He said, if I chant Haribol, who's going to wash my clothes? If I don't wash my clothes, who's going to give me money? If I don't have money, how am I supposed to feed my wife? My wife said, make sure you go and wash clothes and bring back the money. I cannot create a fuss with my wife for that. He said, it's okay. I will wash your clothes. I just want you to chant Haribol. Say, huh? Really? Yes, give me the clothes. I will wash. Who? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, I will take all the dirty clothes and start washing. You chant Haribol. Right? So, like that, then eventually cut the story start. Eventually, somehow or other, it's a nice, beautiful, loving pastime. But eventually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will convince him to chant Haribol. When he start to chant Haribol, he will start to dance in madness. He start to dance in ecstasy. The Dobi guy. Haribol, Haribol, Hare Krishna, like that. Right? So that is compassionate. And who is another personified of compassion in our Gaudiya Sampradaya? Our Srila Prabhupada. At the age of 69, now I'm 47. Just a little fever shaking me so badly. But age of 69, he left India. He's a diabetic, he's having a weak heart. He said, I have waited enough because he's been waiting for a signal all his life. The signal didn't come to him when he was 30s, 40s, 50s. But at the time the signal came, he was worried. How am I supposed to give up my wife? How am I supposed to give up my children? You know, to go to the place. How? But after he translated the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in 3 volumes, he had that indication. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada came. Now you go to America. When he went and begged for a ticket from Sumati Morarji, and she said, Swamiji, you are crazy. You go to India, you're going to die. You go to America, you're going to die. Somehow or other, he managed, he went to India. He went to America. He got down in Boston Pier. He don't know to turn left or turn right. Somehow or other, through some contacts, Agarwal, he went into that and everything started. And that also, after some time, after a few years, he was not well. He came back to India. After he came back to India, then he said, then he was just thinking, why did I offered myself to my spiritual master? Because of some little fever or some kind of medical condition in my body, I got scared and run back to Vrindavan. Now, I'm not going to turn back. I'm going to go to America. I'm going to go back, and doesn't matter where I die. I'm just going to go all out. So again, he went back at the age of 70 plus, 69, 70, 71, 72, like that. He went back, and after that, he went all out. And he translated the books, 22,000, this thing, 18,000. I mean, when you look at Chaitanya, all the books is impossible. This morning, I was listening to a lecture by Hari Sauri Prabhu. Okay, the Chinese group lecture. He was talking about how, when he went and presented the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita, he went and presented to a professor for a review. And the professor got a shock. He almost get a heart attack. He said, how did you do this? And he asked, how long did you take? Say 1.5 years. He couldn't believe this is something which is, this is compassion. So when we are under this Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, all right, I think we have studied that in Bhakti Aloka, all right? If you can also go and refer back to my videos on Bhakti Aloka, there what we says, Vaishnava means just a Vaishnava. But when we are follower of Srimati Radharani, we are Gaudiya. We are not an ordinary Vaishnava. We are Gaudiyas. Gaudiyas means we are the followers of Srimati Radharani. And what we do, we as a Srimati Radharani, we are all this thing of all our spiritual masters, all our manjaris, right? And all Sakis, all the associates of Srimati Radharani coming and teaching us. Like Rupa Manjari is the one who authored this book, Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami, right? Kamala Manjari, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So when they came with full of compassion. So that's why we are the people, a Vaishnava group, who cannot see people suffer. People ask, why are you doing this kind of class? Why do you need to go out and reach out it? Because this is what we're supposed to do. We are trying to impress and we try to like inspire people somehow or other to take up, because it took us 8.4 million lifetime to do what we are doing here. It takes you 8.5. I was always inspired by Radharath Maharaj's quote. It takes you 8.4 million lifetime to what? It takes you 8.4 million lifetime to peel a potato for Krishna. Okay, it takes you 8.4 million lifetime to at least to do what you're doing. Give me a second. Why this hands? Why is suddenly my hands up? Okay, anyway. So I think the gesture. So it takes you so many births to be here, to chant Hare Krishna, to listen to that Krishna Katha, and all this is very basic. So we have to go on doing. So that's the spirit. So that's why it says here that even the compassionate nature, we don't, because we cannot offer. And who is more compassionate than Krishna? Krishna's holy name. Krishna's holy name is more compassionate than Krishna himself. Okay, we studied that in what they call in the book called Harinam Chintamani by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. We studied that also, right? Who is more compassionate, Krishna or holy name? Holy name is more compassionate. But you must understand, holy name can deliver you from a great distress. holy name can take you back home, back to Godhead, which is impossible to break all this penetration. You know, the layers of the material universe, you have to penetrate, you have to break all these things place. You have to break the material universe. You have to go to Viraja River. You have to take a bath. Then you come into a spiritual body. Your material body drop there. You take up a spiritual body. Then take a journey there until Goloka Vrindavan. Harinam Prabhu can do that. But at the same time, Harinam Prabhu is very sensitive. Whenever we offend a devotee, we say something bad about something devotee, the Harinam Prabhu will simply get it, go away from it. He's very sensitive, right? So that's why he says the Harinam Prabhu is more compassionate than Krishna himself. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so because this is the taking advantage of his compassionate nature, which is represented by Srimati Radharani. And to worship Srimati Radharani, it is something which is very rare. Okay, it's very rare. It's very, very amazing opportunity that we got today as being a devotee here. Okay, now please look at 33. Okay. Okay, shall we just take a 5 minutes, 2 minutes break? Okay, it's already 10. Just take a 2 minutes break and we meet again. I need to drink some water. Just take a short break. Let's continue. All right. So the 33rd quality, Manya Manakrit. Okay. Guru Brahmana Vriddadi Pujaka Manya Manakrit. Okay. That means being respectful. Okay. A person who shows adequate respect. So what is the definition of being respectful? A person who shows adequate respect to a spiritual master, a Brahmana, and an old person is to be understood as being respectful. Okay, we must remember this. Okay, so who are the people that we should be respectful? Adequate respect. It means we should show a proper respect to the spiritual master, a Brahmana, and an old person. Okay, now let's look at this. Yata Abhivadya Guru Padambujam Pitaram Purvajam Apyatanata Harir Anjalina Tata Gira Yadu Vriddan Anamat Kramadayam. Okay, quoted in 2.1.136. So now it says, when a superior person assembled before Krishna, Krishna first offered respect to his spiritual master and to his father and to his elder brother Balaram. Okay, he respected even his older brother Balaram. In this way, Lord Krishna, the lotus-eyed, were completely happy and pure in heart in all his dealings. Okay, this is we'll study in Canto 10. All right, we'll study in Canto 10. What happened when he go to the assembly? He pay his respect to his spiritual master and to his father. How? By touching their feet. Okay, not simply like this. He go and touch their feet, and the father and also his elder brother, then he go and sit. All right, so that's the thing. So Krishna is great. 35, Vinai. Okay, the 35th quality, Audatya Parihariya Katayati Vinayatya So. Okay, that means, okay, now, okay, the editor note here, it says, okay, we have to look at this. Verse 139 and 140 are placed before verse 137, 138 to fit the English text. Right? So now you see the 139 will 140 will be like intertwining. All right. So verses 139 and 140 placed before the verse 137 and 138. It's supposed to be 137, 138, 139, 140. You got it? But now it's terbalik. I mean, it's like pushed aside. So it's 139, 140 first, then 137, 138 later. Why? Just to fit the English text. Okay. So that's why we should remember that. All right. So let's look at this 34. So what is that? Vinai. Vinai. Okay. Okay. 35. Okay. 33. Okay. 35. Gentle. Being gentle. Okay. What does it mean? Gentle means a person who neither become impudent nor exhibit puffed up nature is called gentle. Okay. The one who's not impudent or show some puffed up. Okay. Puffed up, egoistic character. They are called as the gentle people. So now let's look at this thing. Right. Yata magaye kavaye. Yata maga kavye. Avaloka esha nirpate sudurato. Rabasat ratat avataritum ichata. avatirnavan pratamam atmana harir vinayam visheshyati sambra mena isaha. The example of Krishna's gentle behavior manifests when he was coming to the arena of Rajasuya sacrifice arranged by Maharaj Yudhishthira. Okay, after Yudhishthira won the kingdom, he started to perform this great sacrifice. Rajasuya Yagya means to make a proclamation that he is going to be the emperor of the world. Okay, so he was doing that Yagya. Okay, now, second arranged by Yudhishthira. Krishna's older cousin. Okay, Krishna's older cousin. How does it mean cousin means, right? So Krishna's father and Yudhishthira's mothers are siblings. So cousins. In Tamil we call Mama Atta Magan, right? Okay. So Maharaj Yudhishthira knew that Krishna was the supreme lord, and he was attempting to get down from his chariot to receive Krishna. He knows. But before Yudhishthira could get down, Lord Krishna got down from his own chariot and immediately fell at the feet of the king. All right. Yudhishthira knows Krishna is supreme. When he was coming, immediately Krishna got down first and fell at his feet. Even though Krishna is the supreme personality, he never forget to show social etiquette in his dealings. Okay. Now let's look at 34. Dakshana. Shaushilya, Saumya, Charita, Dakshina, Kirtyate Buddhahi. All right. That means Dakshina, liberal. Okay. Anyway, why the thing is like this? Dakshina and 35 liberal. Okay. Anyway, can you check on your book how it says that? Ah, okay. So Dakshina, gentle. 35 is liberal. Oh, okay. So that means Dakshina was above. Okay. Because in 35 liberal. All right. Anyway. So 35 liberal. Any person, what is that definition? Any person by his natural behavior, very mild, is called liberal. Okay. That means any person by his natural behavior. So yata Vrittasya pashyati gurun api na paradan sevang managapi kritam bahuda vyupaiti aviksh karoti pishuneshvapi nabhyasuyam shilena nirmalamati purushottamayam. So a statement by Uddhava. Now it's okay. Now he's creating, referring from the statement from Uddhava. After the Shamantaka jewel plundering, okay, this is another beautiful story. You can read the story in Krishna book under the title of Shamantaka jewel. Okay. Plundering confirmed that Krishna is so kind and favorable, right? So kind and favorable that if a servitor accused even a great offense, so kind that favorable that if a servitor is accused even of a great offense, Krishna does not take this into consideration. He simply considers the service of the rendered by his devotee. A very, very important statement. So let's look at this. Now, what it says here in Uddhava? Okay. So what it says here like this. So the statement by Uddhava, he's saying, a servitor is accused even of a great offenses. Okay. Servitor means what? Say a devotee is accused even of great offense. He should have done some great offense. He's accused. Okay, people just put an accusation, or maybe he have done it this thing. But now let's look at this. Krishna does not take this. Krishna does not take this into consideration. Okay, because he simply consider the service of the rendered of the devotees. So we as a human, we are always like to pull a tug of war. We always try to find a fault, or when we are affected by this thing, only we as a mortal are being non-satisfied with our fellow devotees. You know, this and that. We are talking about all these kind of things. All right. But here Krishna says he doesn't care. What he have seen, he only see the qualities of the devotee, the service rendered by the devotee. That's why in Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Behold, declare it boldly, Partha, my devotee never perish. He can be this. He can be. Even he's done abominable activity, he's fallen, but still you must remember that he is perfectly situated. Because we as a human being, we always can make mistake. Not always. We make mistake. There's a term, right? To err is human. Because we are in this condition so. Yesterday, when I was doing that Harinam, I remember I was talking to one, I was training one young boy here. I was telling what is dirt and what is contamination. Right? He's a lawyer by profession. Then he was telling, no, both. I said, no, please tell me what is dirt and what is contamination. Right? So the body is dirty. All right. Why? Because it came from a very nasty ingredient. All right. The body is made of 5 material ingredients. And the body is made of pus, blood, marrow. We live in a body with 9 holes. We are living in that Nava Indriya. Oh, what is the word? Forgetting things. Nava what? Nava.
Dwara.
Nava Dwara. Sorry, Prabhu.
Navadwara.
Nava Dwara. Dwara means hole. We have 9 holes in our body. Where? 1, 2, both eyes. Nostril, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 and 9 is your genital and your anus. You could take a nice bath. But when you put your hand in any of these holes in your body, it will be stinky, it's smelly, it's nasty. Yes or not? You brush your teeth so nicely, then after that you just take your finger and just smell and see, smelly. Anything emanates from the 9 hole from the body is extremely smelly, nasty. Right? Even say this hand is here. If I just had a small cut, okay, it's a kind of covering here. But if the covering is just a bit injured, when the blood start to ooze out, it smells. So the body is made of dirty, what they call combination. That's called dirt. But contamination means the thing is pure, but it got contaminated by dirt. When they say this thing is pure, when something dirt touch it, we call as contamination. Right? So that's why what we say, that's why our mind, intelligence, ego, okay, our subtle body, it is, okay, that means it's a mental contamination. We have been contaminated. We are formally a pure living entity, okay, because we are part and parcel of Krishna, but we are living in this dirty body. Of course, we can't avoid that. But our mind has been contaminated for time immemorial. Every birth that we have taken, we take along with us some kind of experience. And that experience is usually a contaminating experience. So for time immemorial, okay, like 8.4 million species, 400,000 human species alone, right? Just imagine what happened to us. Okay, example. Okay, now let's see. I am just merely a dust. Okay, it's just a small dust. Okay, then what happened? Then in that small dust, okay, there's another layer of dirt. Okay, another layer of dirt. Then after that, another layer of dirt. Then after some time, there'll be another layer of dirt on top of this. Then above this layer of dirt, okay, there's another layer. So like that, we have layers and layers and layers and layers of dirt. So until it become like a mountain of dirt. All right, it became like a huge mountain. And we are just a tiny dirt here. We are just a tiny dirt, right? But it has been compressed by millions and millions of years. So what happened when the dirt become compressed? Example, okay, like if you want to see example, imagine if your mirror, it is not cleansed. First, there's a dust. Then there'll be another layer of the dust. Then there'll be third layer of the dust. Fourth layer, fifth layer, sixth layer, 7, 8, 9, 10 layer. And after that, you try to clean it, it's not easy to clean. You have to scrub it. You have to use a very high concentrated detergent to clean up the mirror. When you clean, the first layer will come out, then second layer will come out, third layer will come out. It's so not easy to clean up, even just a normal dust. And imagine for millions of lifetime, we have been compressed. So when the dust become compressed, it become carbonized. Carbon. So with this terrible compression, so more and more compression is happening, right? Okay, now more and more compression, more and more is compressed over a period of time. It's compressed, 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 compressed. What happened? The dust, okay, the dust here will turn into a diamond. All right, because of severe compression, the carbon will become diamond. Diamond is carbon, which is compressed over millions of years. So once the thing become carbonized, do you think you can destroy this diamond? It takes another diamond to cut the diamond. Like that, our anarthas, our inauspicious things, that our experience in the material world has been has been carbonized and has turned into diamond. And it became so hard and can never be destroyed. But by the mercy of Guru, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and all these kind of things, you know what's happening? We are getting the opportunity to clearing off. We call prarabdha, aprarabdha karma, and kutta karma. Of course, there's a detail. Okay, so we have to clear. So now we are slowly removing the compression. We are removing the compression. All right. Now we are just trying to remove slowly. Even despite we remove everything, but still there's a thing called diamond. Okay, this carbon has turned into diamond. So it takes another diamond to cut a diamond. So that's when the spiritual master comes and help you to break off this diamond, this thing. So for that reason, we must understand, my dear Prabhus and mothers, as a human being, we all have fault. We should not flare up the fault. We should not do dosa kirtan. We should do hari kirtan. When we find any fault in any devotee, we just simply pray to Krishna, my dear Krishna, I've seen that. I'm not sure whether I've seen it right or whether it's offense or not, but whatever it is, please be merciful to that particular devotee. Just pray for him. If the devotee is going to give you a hard time, just avoid his association. Simple as that. You do not need to sit with him and find fault and all these kind of things. Make your spiritual life more frustrating. We must remember this. Everybody have fault. In this faulty situation, we are trying to become perfect. Even how much time that we are trying to portray, but we have deep-rooted anarthas, deep-rooted fault, sometimes may manifest. That's why Lord Jagannath is the Lord of Kali Yuga. Because Lord Jagannath got a big eyes. He only wants to see the beautiful things that you have done for him, the seva. He don't have ears. He doesn't want to hear any blaspheme about any devotees. He got a big mouth, smiling, big eyes, dilated, big eyes and big smile. You have done a service. You know, Jagannath, the fellow is a crazy guy. I say, I don't have ears. I can't hear this. I only can see you. I only can see your action of seva. So we must be very careful. Okay. Even sometimes if a devotee is fallen, when we start to, if the person is younger to you, if you are a mentor, you can correct him. If it's the same level with you, maybe you just can create a friendly talk. If it's the person is superior to you, just offer your obeisances in his mind and avoid his association. I used to do that. Sometimes, I'm in the management, sometimes, the devotees will call and, start to express their frustration and everything, I will just talk. I said, I just hang up the phone. Or I just say, oh, I think I got to go. When I say, whatever it is, please WhatsApp me first. Let's WhatsApp. So after I know the intention, so I won't reply him. Maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, when his ankar, when everything's subset, then I ask, what happened? Then he say, no, la Prabhu, this devotee crazy guy, la Prabhu. Why? Okay, la, what to do? But when I talk to him while he's heated, what happened? He'll, oh, you know, that flow did like this. So not necessary. He will also spoil your sadhan bhakti. All right. So we have to be very, very tactful. And of course, remember, we have to perform this devotional service in the association of a devotee. All right. We are not a mendicant, we are not a yogi, we can sit in the cave and start to achieve this. It doesn't work that way. Okay. We have to perform the sadhan bhakti in the association of a devotee. So we must be very careful. All right. So that's the thing. So Krishna does not take into consideration. He simply considers the service rendered by his devotee. Okay. So if anything goes wrong, anything happen, so don't take the risk of criticizing. Unless you come to the level of Paramat, what they call Uttama Adhikari, or even to the level of Madhyama Adhikari, then we can talk about it. All right. When we are still in the level of Kanishta, what is Kanishta means? We are still in the beginning stage. How to know? How do I know? Hey, I've been 30 years in Hare Krishna, you know. You're still calling me Kanishta? As long as you have anger, pride, disrespectful mentality, you are still in the Kanishta level. Face it. That's a fact. Check and balance your life. Like what my mentor used to tell. Make a journal. Check. Do you have any of these? Do you have anarthas? Do you have kind of ego? Do you get angry? Do you get frustrated? When people come and tell you you're wrong, say, you are telling me wrong? Hey, that's all right. Don't listen to him. He's nonsense. You know, when you cannot have, that means we still remember we are still in Kanishta level. So we have to think, because what Krishna says in one of Shikshastaka, you have to be as tolerant as a tree, as humble as a grass. Remember this thing, as tolerant as a tree and as humble as a grass. If you have these two characters, that's when you can taste the Shuddha Nam, the chanting of the holy name, the pure chanting of the holy name. You only can taste when you have these two characters, tolerant, extreme humbleness. As tolerant as a tree, as humble as a grass. All right. But now how to do it? It's okay. Pray to Krishna. Pray to Prabhupada. When according to your sincerity, because the prema bhakti, you can go up to Bhava with your own effort. Now we talk about, because in the previous chapter, we talk about Vaidhi Sadhana, the rules and regulation, the 64, right? So Vaidhi Sadhana we have done. So now, then after that, it says from Vaidhi Sadhana, when you start to practice Vaidhi Sadhana, you can go up to the level of Bhava, ecstatic, Rupanuga, spontaneous. These two you can do with your own effort. Okay, you follow the rules, okay, all that. But the prema is only has to be granted by Krishna. He has that, what they call, what do you call? What is the word? The authority, you know? The ultimate authority that only prema will be given by him. Right? But of course, how he gives, when Srimati Radharani sees that you are very sincere, say, come on, give it to him. Such a nice boy, nice Mataji, nice girl. Give it to him. I want them to be with me. All right. So it's very rare. So don't compromise. Just a little agitation, a little this thing. Don't compromise on the possibility of achieving your bhava and prema. When you see snake and ladder, I think you all have seen snake and ladder, right? The game. How many of you have not seen? You don't know what is snake and ladder? Who don't know what is snake and ladder? Any one of you? Prahlad Prabhu, do you play snake and ladder in Trinidad, Tobago?
Yes, Prabhu. We are familiar with snake and ladder here.
Familiar? Okay, good. How about others? Anybody who don't know what is snake and ladder? Come on, Kala Mataji, do you know what is snake and ladder, right? Sudha Sindhu Mataji?
Yes, it's a game, right?
Yeah, okay. Now let me tell you something about snake and ladder. Snake and ladder, okay, it starts from number 1 to 100. Okay, 1 to 100. In between, there's a ladder. That's a promotion, easily can go up. And there'll be also snake. When the thing bites you, you have to come back to the tail. If you notice all that snake and all that numbers, okay, now it's like this. When you notice all that, when you look at the number 100, okay, number 100. Okay, when you see 100, at this place of 100, you see, okay, the before 100 is what? Okay, before 100 is 99. And this place 99 is the place you see the longest snake. You see? In between, you see, all other places, you see a short snake, like that. But only at the place of 100, you see the longest snake. The longest snake in snake and ladder is at the number 99. You understand? So when we are practicing sadhana, when we were almost to achieve perfection 100%, but little mistake, that's it. You fall down to the lowest level. The higher you climb, the harder you fall. So as you climb higher and higher in sadhana bhakti, you have to be very, very responsible in your thinking, in your character, in your behavior. That's why I'm saying, do your journal. Journaling is fantastic. By doing journaling, you could check and balance your life. Are you doing the right thing or not? When we are coming, okay, from one, you go 10, you fall down a bit, then you climb the ladder, you come down from, then you go slowly. You are struggling, you are struggling, going up. With all the struggle from one, all the struggle. Okay. And you are coming and you are so near. Yes, I'm coming near. Yes, I'm going to achieve. I'm at the 99. Palm on anarthas. Boom. Choom, come back. Start all over again. Maybe going to take another 10, 15 life. Not worth it. If you really think about it, not worth it. Let them call me a fool. Let them call me an idiot. Let them call me I'm a fallen soul. I'm a mad fella. Just let them say whatever they want to say. I should not get agitated and I should not retaliate. So what is the safest way of achieving success? Become like Jada Bharat. Jada Bharat was such a great king, emperor of the world. He renounced the world, went to the forest. He saw the deer in distress, the doe, the baby deer. Okay, the doe in distress. He's safe. What he thought in Bhagavatam is mentioned. When we study Bhagavatam, we will definitely go into that. What did he say? What did he say? He said, I, as the emperor of the world, I should be compassionate to every living entity. But he has renounced that position. He renounced the position, gave to his son, went to the forest. But still he had that thought, as an emperor, I should be compassionate to every living. I have to save the doe. So what happened? Indirectly, without he realizing, he has not really renounced that idea. He jumped into the water, saved the baby deer, doe, and start to bring up. Then he died thinking of the deer, and he take birth in the form of a deer. And that when he born in the form of a deer, he had a lifetime of regret. Just a one single incident that I am the emperor, I should look after the deer, cost me a life in the body of a deer. Then he born again. The third one, he born as Jada Bharat. Jada means what? Foolish. Or in Tamil, we call Mandam. Okay, in Tamil, we call the word Jadam, right? I mean, Jadama irka. Jadam means like a walking dead body. In Tamil, we should use the word Jadam. Avan kadakran Jadam. Yena, ade mandama irukittu onnu illama apdi band irukku Jadam. Okay, Jada. So we become like a dull-headed person. Dull-headed. In other words, just normal dull-headed. But he was so intelligent. But he preferred to be the dull-headed. He preferred to be in that mode of dull-headedness. People call him, the father wanted to teach him Gayatri. He couldn't take it because he's born into a Brahmana. The father had to teach him Gayatri. He couldn't even chant the Gayatri. What to do? He just, I don't know. It's acted like a this thing. All right. So why he did that? That's an example we should always strongly consider in our life. It's rather that we become a Jada Bharat. Here we are not trying to make you, it is a kind of religious process, which is not trying to want to make you a fool or a dull-headed person. In everywhere we go, we always talk about be the best in your life, like motivational talk, right? Always think you are great. You know, there's affirmation. Oh, I am the greatest. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I can touch that, touch this. You know, oh, I can do this. You know, if the mind conceive and perceive, it will achieve. All these kind of motivational quotes, we all tell, yes, I am the greatest. Enough. Enough. By thinking like this, we are stuck in this material world for 8.4 million lifetime. That is one round. Like this, we have gone through millions of rounds. Still, we still want to have that mentality. I am great. I am this. Nothing. This kind of mentality is going to get you stuck further in this material world and suffer another horrible, abominable life after life after life. Right? We have taken all kind of births. We have eaten stool in our life, in our pathway. We have born as a pig and we have eaten the stool. We have born as a worm that lives in the stool. We were killed in many varieties. We were cooked alive when we born as what? There's a kind of animal. What? The fish. Okay, the thing with the too long. They need to cook the flesh alive. We were slaughtered. Our throat got slitted. You know, the pig. You know how they kill the pig? Like the day I saw, oh my God, horrible. They take the pig and throw into a boiling hot water. Right? Because they want to like reserve something. You know, pig was running. And in Malaysia, I've seen with my own eyes, you know, small time in Sungai Petani area. My cousin brother, at 3 o'clock, we sneak out from the house. We just went out. We saw they were slaughtering pig. They tie the both hand and both leg, and there's a razor in the between. And there's the conveyor belt will bring, the thing will get, cut the pig into half, boom, fall out. Cut the pig into half, still alive. At the time, they take all the, we got killed that way. We have died varieties of death. All the death that you see, we have gone through that. We see the cockroach, disgusted, we were cockroach before. When you see the rat, the day I caught a rat in my house, you know, I just put a trap and I look at the rat just cannot keep quiet. Run, go. So much in anxiety. Enough. If you ask me, enough. Let's, Prabhupada says, this one life, dedicate for Krishna. Enough. By me thinking great, no need. So we have to be humble. It's worth it. Let people call us name. Let people say that we are this, whatever. Let them say it. Let them have the pleasure. Right? It's very hard to follow. Fair enough. Because we still have that ahankar. We still have that. We still have that. But what do you need to do? Engage it. Engage your mind. Do it. Okay? Because if you don't feel angry, that means you're already a great devotee. But of course, you'll feel angry. Right? Like few days, 2 days ago, I was like pissed off with some of the devotees here who are being very inefficient. Of course, I've grumbled to one devotee. But later, I came back and I wrote a journal. I say yes. But so when I write a journal, okay, now I got angry with the devotee because of this incident. So next day, I said, I'm not going to see this. No, some or other you can check and balance. Of course, journaling, we discuss as we go on. So think about it, my dear Prabhus and mothers. It's not worth it. Okay? Thinking great, thinking this thing, it is not going to take us far in our life. At the same time, we are not trying to make you a fool. Because our ultimate goal is to think. Because all this statement, we're going to elaborate further as we go on in this book. 36. Priman. Nyatismara rahasinyai kriyamane stavetva shalinatvena sankocham bhajan Riman udiryate. All right. 36 means shy. A person who sometimes exhibit humility and bashfulness is called shy. Bashfulness means like, you are blushing, called shy. Okay, now it's quoting from Lalita Madhava, the book from Lalita Madhava. Yata Lalita Madhave, chapter 9, text 40. Darodanchat gopistana parisara prikshana bharat karutkampa dishat chalati kila govardhana girau. Bayartair arabda stutir akila gopai smita mukam puro drishtvaramam jayate nimittasyo maduripu. All right, maduripu. Wow, I tell you, I got this book, Lalita Madhava. You will never believe. Anyway, let's see. Anyway, so as described in Lalita Madhava, Krishna's shyness was manifest when he lifted Govardhan hill. So I can describe Lalita Madhava is Krishna's shyness was manifest when he lifted the Govardhan with his little finger on his left hand. Okay, all the gopis are observing Krishna's wonderful achievement. And Krishna was smiling at seeing the gopis. So when Krishna's glance went over the breast of the gopis, so imagine Krishna was holding the thing, such a young boy, 7-year-old, and he was smiling at them. Of course, Krishna got a cheeky eyes, naughty. So what happened? His eyes went and glanced over the breast of the gopis. So what happened when he started to see the breast of the gopi? His hand started shaking. Oh, what is this? So his hand began to start to shake. And upon seeing his hand shake, all the cowherd man underneath the hill became little disturbed. Hey, what happened? Because the whole people are sitting inside the big mountain. Imagine when he started shaking, what happened? So everybody became disturbed. Hey, Krishna, can or not? And then there was a tumultuous roaring sound. Okay, there was a big boom sound. And they all began to pray to Krishna for safety. At this time, Lord Balaram was smiling. Balaram knows the brother, smiling, thinking that these cowherd men had been frightened by the shaking of Govardhan hill. Right? When the thing starts shaking, so it created a big sound, right? So he knows that they're frightened by the shaking of Govardhan hill. But seeing Balaram smile, Krishna thought that Balaram has understood his mind. You got the picture? So now he could understand. I'm looking at their breasts and I'm excited and my hand shivering, right? and Balaram was smiling at the Gopals, the cowherd boys, because it's creating a sound and everything. And he said, you're smiling. And what Krishna thought, Alama, don't tell me Balaram knew my mind. You understand what I mean? So Krishna thought, Balaram had understood his mind by observing the breast of the gopis. And after that, he immediately become bashful. He became like so, paise. In Chinese, we call paise, right? He become blush. Chicho, this was saw me. He saw that. So he thought that Balaram understood that. All right. It's a very beautiful book. Anyway. So, okay. Now let's look at 37. Sharanagata Palaka. Palayan Sharana Pannan. Sharanagata Palaka. 37 is protector of the surrendered soul. Krishna is the protector of all surrendered soul. Yata jvare parihara vitrasang tam atra samare krita paradepi sadhya prapatyamane yat indavati yadavindriyoyam. Right? Quoted in Southern Ocean, first wave, text 144. Some enemy of Krishna was enlivened and the thought that he needn't fear Krishna. All right. So that means even some enemy of Krishna feel very relief. All right. With the thought they don't need to scare of Krishna because if he simply surrendered to him, the enemies, Krishna would give him all protection. Krishna is sometimes compared to the moon, which does not hesitate to distribute soothing rays. even on the houses of Chandalas and other untouchables. All right. When you see the moon, when the moon shines, everybody enjoys it. It doesn't make only for the devotees. Okay. Okay. 38. Suki. Bhuktacha dukkha gandair apya pristascha suki bhavat. Sorry, suki bhavet. Right? Suki means, of course, in Malay also we call sukha, right? Okay. Or in Tamil also we call suki, sugam. Okay. The word suki is Sanskrit, but in Malay we call sukha, right? And in Tamil we call sugam. Sugama இருக்கீங்களா? Somebody is sugam. All right. So suki, but of course suki means liking, but in Sanskrit we call happy. Yes, okay. Fruit got dried up. Any person, what is the definition of being happy? A person who is always joyful, untouched by distress is called happy. Okay. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So what is the be happy? We must be always joyful. Okay. And of course, we should not be touched by distress. Okay, that's the thing. Tatta tatra adyo yata. Ratnalankara baras tava danada manorajya vrityapya labhyaha. Swapne damboli panir api duradigamam dvari taurya trikam cha. Parshve gauri garistaha prachura shashi kalakanta sarvanga bajaha. Shimantinyascha nityam yaduvara bhuvane kastvat anyosti bhogi. So as far as Krishna's enjoyment is concerned, it is stated that ornament which decorate the body of Krishna and his queens were beyond the dreams of Kuvera. Okay, the ornament that Krishna and the queens wear is beyond the dreams of Kuvera. Kuvera means is a celestial treasurer. He's so rich. Okay, he can't even think about it. He's beyond the treasure. Okay, he's the treasurer of the heavenly kingdom. Okay, Kubera. The constant dancing before the doors of Krishna's palaces. Okay, what is that? The constant dancing before the doors of Krishna palaces was not to be imagined even by the demigods of heavenly kingdom. Right? Because in Krishna's palace, Krishna always danced with his gopis. I mean, with his wives. You can't even imagine that in the palace, in the heavenly kingdom. In the heavenly kingdom, all right, in the heavenly kingdom, all right, Indra is the king of heaven, always sees the dancing of the society girls, Gandharvas, Apsaras, sorry, not Gandharvas, Apsaras. They will be dancing. Society girl means like, the cabaret dancer, all right? Like, I don't know whether you understand what it means by cabaret dancing. The girl in a skimpy dress, almost revealing everything, she'll be dancing. They call cabaret dancing, right? Or sometimes that in Las Vegas, the cabaret dances. So these are the things that Indra used to enjoy in heaven. Okay, the dancing of the society girl. But even Indra could not imagine how beautiful were the dances performed by the gates of Krishna's palace. So now, Gauri means what? White woman. Okay, Gauri means white woman. Okay, and Lord Shiva's wife is called as Gauri. Okay, so Gauri means white woman, and Lord Shiva's wife is called Gauri. Yeah. The beautiful woman residing within the palace of Krishna was so much better, much whiter than the Gauri. So Gauri means white, the consort of Lord Shiva. But the women that residing in the palace of Krishna were even much whiter, right? Even more fairer. And they were compared to the moonshine. Okay? And they were constantly visible to Krishna. Therefore, no one can be enjoying more than Krishna. Because that's why Krishna is called as Adi Purusha. Purusha means enjoyer. Adi Purusha means the supreme enjoyer. The conception of enjoyment is beautiful. The conception of enjoyment is beautiful woman, ornament, riches. Okay? And all of these fabulously present in the palace of Krishna, defeating even the imagination of Kuvera, Lord Indra, and even Lord Shiva. Dvitiyo yata na hanim na mlanim nija griha kritya vyasinitam na gorang not gurnan Na kila kadanam vetti kim vapi. Warangi bihi sangikta suhit anangabir abito harir vrindaranya param anisham uchair viharati. Not even a slight distress can touch Krishna. Once some gopis went to the place where the Brahmanas were performing sacrifice and said, "Dear wives of Brahmana, you must know that not even a slight smell of distress can touch Krishna. He knows no loss. He knows no defamation. He knows no loss. He knows no defamation, and he has no fear. He has no anxiety, and he does not know calamity. He simply encircled the dances of Raja and enjoying the company in the rasa dance." So that is how carefree Krishna happily enjoying his rasa leela. All right, so we stop here. So which page is this? 39. Okay, we stop at page 178. 178, Nectar of Devotion. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to start this 39. Okay, 39 means well-wisher of his devotees. All right, so tomorrow we can continue. Okay, so any questions, any comment? Now it's 10:53. Any takeaway, anything? Please mark your page, 178. Any questions? Any discussion? All good?
Yes, Prabhu.
All okay, yeah? Okay. So when there's no question, there's no comment. So we meet again tomorrow, same time, 9:15 a.m. Sorry for my cough. 9:15 a.m. Malaysian time, 9:15 p.m. Trinidad Tobago time. All right. So till then, thank you very much. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for joining us to study and talk about Krishna's beautiful qualities. We'll meet again tomorrow. We further our discussion. 39 because we total 64. Can you imagine? So much. All right. So take care. Have a nice day. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhescha. Kripa sindhu bevacha. Paditanam pavinibhyo vaishnavyo namaha. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful day.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.